Moses' Legacy, to Joshua by Louis Ginzberg. After Moses had announced Joshua as his successor before all the congregation, he disclosed to him that the course of his own life was run, and that he would now depart to his fathers. At his inheritance, he gave to Joshua a book of prophecy, which Joshua was to anoint with cedar oil, and in an earthen vessel to lay upon the spot that from the creation of the world God had created for it, so that his name might there be invoked. This book contained in brief outline the history of Israel from the entrance into the promised land to the establishment of God's kingdom upon earth, when, in wrath and indignation on account of his children, the Lord will rise from his throne of power and proceed from his holy dwelling. When Joshua heard the words of Moses as they are written in his holy scriptures, he rent his garments and fell at Moses' feet, who, himself in tears, yet comforted him. Joshua, however, said, "How canst thou comfort me concerning the bitter word that thou hast spoken, which abound in sobs and tears, that thou art to depart from thy people? What place will receive thee? What monument will point to thy grave? Or who will dare to remove thy corpse from one place to another as if it were an ordinary mortal's? All dying men receive a grave upon earth according to their rank, but thy grave extends from sunrise to sunset, from south to north. All the world is thy tomb. Thou goest. Who not, O Master, shall care for this people? Who shall take pity upon them and be a guide upon their way? Who shall pray for them incessantly, that I may lead them into the land of their fathers? How shall I provide food for them according to their wish, or drink according to their desire? From the beginning they numbered 60 myriads, and now, thanks to thy prayers, they have greatly multiplied. Whence shall I draw insight and understanding to give them judgment and counsel? Even the kings of the Amorites, hearing that we desire to attack them, will say, Let us not set out against them, for there is now no longer among them the many-sided, incomprehensible and sacred spirit, worthy of the Lord, the ever-faithful Master of the Word, the divine prophet of all the world, the most consummate master of this age. If now our enemies once more transgress before the Lord, they will have no defender to offer up prayers for them before God, as Moses had done, the great messenger who at all hours of the day kneeled down and prayed, lifting up his eyes to him who rules all the world, and constantly reminding him of his covenant with the patriarchs and appeasing him with invocation. For thus will the Amorites speak, saying, He is no longer among them. Arise then, and let us wipe them from the face of the earth. But what then, O my Lord Moses, will become of this people? When Joshua has spoken these words, he cast himself once more at Moses' feet. Moses seized his hand, raised him to a seat before them, and answered him, saying, Do not underestimate thyself, O Joshua, but be light of heart, and pay heed to my words. All the nations that dwell in the universe hath God created, and us also. Them and us did he foresee from the beginning of the creation of the universe, even unto the end of the world. And he overlooked nothing, even down to the smallest. But he at the same time foresaw and foredoomed everything. All that was to happen in this universe did God foresee and foredoom, and lo, it cometh to pass. He appointed me for them and for their sins, that for them I might make prayer and exhortation. Not for my fitness or my strength was I chosen, but only through the grace of his mercy and his longsuffering. For I assure thee, Joshua, not on account of the excellence of this people wilt thou destroy the heathens. All the fastnesses of heaven and the foundations of the universe were created and approved by God, and are beneath the ring of his right hand. Those, therefore, that maintain and fulfill God's commandments thrive and prosper, but those who sin and neglect the commandments will now receive the promised possessions, and will be punished by the heathens with many plagues. But that he should wholly destroy or abandon them is impossible, for God will step forth, who foresaw everything even to eternity, and whose covenant is firmly founded, in accordance with the oath which he swore to the patriarchs. Then the hands of the angel will be filled, and he will be appointed chief, and he will forthwith avenge them of their enemies. 838.